Hi, I'm Barbara Heffernan, and
Hi, Barbara.
hello, Nancy. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks.
Actually, it's not good morning, it's good afternoon.
Thanks
I
for
just
being,
checked.
That's right. Thanks for being with us. So I hear you have a couple job hunt tips for us. What do you got?
Okay, the thing that, there's so much information out there on interviewing, and I think the critical things for me, because I used to design these types of things when I was an HR consultant, and the things that kept popping up for me were two critical questions that you will probably be asked at some point in the interview process, whether it's through a recruiter or actually you've reached the stage where you have an interview with the hiring manager. And one of those questions is, why should we hire you?
I've gotten that one.
Okay, and that's such a critical, and there's so much information that you can provide there. And I think the critical tips for me when you're approaching that is prepare, prepare, and practice, practice, practice. And what the company is really trying to find out is what we call the fit. How will you fit into this organization? So you have some homework to do in order to prepare for a question like that. And it's all, it can extend from researching the company, getting on their website and finding out what their mission is, what their core values are, what they really do. And then you drill down and you look at the job description and you look at, this is going to give me an indication of what it is exactly that they're looking for. And then I'm going to go back in and take a look at my resume, and I'm going to think about this and say, how do the accomplishments or the things that I really know how to do, whether you want to call them skills or abilities, because all those are factors, how do they fit in? So if I asked you that, if I said to you, why should I hire you? You've got to be prepared with some key critical answers to that. And you want to really be specific. And I'm not saying rehearse them so much as really drill down and think about that. Why should I hire you? Well, one of the reasons you should hire me, for example, is that one of my really strong accomplishments is the ability to design and develop really successful training programs. And in my past work, I've been able to assess what it is specifically that the client needs around training and development, drill down and ask them really critical questions about what it is specifically that they're looking for. So in effect, I'm doing a needs assessment. That is one thing that I am very that's not that great that I'm accomplished, but that I have been successful at meeting the objectives of that particular group. I'm going to stop here for a minute, Nancy, because I'm belaboring and going on, but I'm giving a specific example of what I experienced when I was hiring for contract positions, for example. So the takeaway for you as an interviewee when you are asked that question is to really prepare for it. Do your research, practice with somebody. Make all those flubs and ums and ahs before you get actually into the situation where you're asked that question. Summarize for me, research the company, drill down. What are their values? What are the careers like for that organization? You might be able to talk to people who work there if you have any contacts. Go online, do research, and then practice, practice, practice.
Researching the company, you're so right. I think that's key in so many ways when you're looking for a job.
Yeah. I mean, it goes right back, and also matching, what is it that I really want to be doing? What are my career objectives? Nancy, it's interesting because I'm working on the resume session that we're going to be doing. I'm working with 3 other people. And there is so much information out there, and you can get really bottlenecked and in so much information on interviewing tips, so much information on resume writing. And how do you simplify that for these candidates who are out there? Either they've been laid off or they're looking for jobs. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. How do you manage that? How do you get back from that and just say, try and keep it simple for myself so that I can manage this process that I'm going through looking for a job.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm helping you with this because I'm starting to get all over the map, but it's really having been in that position of hiring people, helping hiring managers, helping candidates find jobs, and then looking at all of the things out there. Bill Bridges did a lot of work years ago, and he had a book called Managing Transitions. And we used it a lot during the periods where there was the free fall in the market and companies were laying off, 2008 as one example. And he said that as candidates are all out there, how do you manage this? And one of the key things is don't get bogged down in things you have no control over. What are the things that you have control over? Well, you have control over identifying your career objectives, really drilling down on it. You have control over getting your resume done. You have control over practicing interviewing skills. So those are things that you can be working on right now.
Very good points. I really appreciate all that you're offering. It's every single bit of it really makes sense, and I think can help other job seekers out there.
I hope so.